Hey, thanks for logging on. I'm John Craig. It's CapitalAreaGolf.com. We're at Schuyler Meadows Club, where they've had a lot of big events over the years. They've had the Craig Amateur Championship and Stroke Play. Last summer, they had, of course, the New York State Golf Association Men's Amateur. That's the feather in the cap of the New York State Golf Association. Boy, that was a thrilling finish right here on 18. And now they're gearing up for May 14th, and that's the US Open Qualifier that'll take place. 65 will tee it up to try and get into this sectional qualifying. As you follow the US Open along the way, then those sectional that have only a handful there will then move on and play Pinehurst. And that brings us to taking a look at what's on the site. We got a lot of things on the site, not the least of which are record entries for both the men's and the women's for the US Open. The USGA telling us those numbers, and you can see them right on the site. US men and women are going to both play their Opens at Pinehurst over consecutive weeks in mid to late June. And for folks in the capital area, it all starts here. You got to get past Schuyler Meadows and, of course, the final finishing holes, which we'll talk about in just a minute. Also coming up and on the website, you can take a look. They had an experiment recently at Saratoga Lake where they tried 8-inch cups, the regular 4¼ inch cups, but they tried 8-inch. There's also a move afoot nationally to go to 15-inch. Some people think that's just, fish in a barrel, but they tried 8 just to kind of move things along, speed things up, and see how that moves along with putting. If you want to work on your game, Colonial Acres might be a good spot. It's a little par 3 course down there on the Albany-Glenmont border. They have a lot of things going on, and they've teamed up with the Audubon Society. We're going to be following over the course of the season the ENYGA, the Eastern New York State Golf Association, with a lot of local guys playing capital area courses. The Craga is well underway. That's run by the New York State, the Northeastern New York PGA section, and that's the Capital Region Amateurs, and they've played a couple of events already. And, of course, the pros have been playing with a couple of events. Brian Lowe has won one, and now 3-time Player of the Year in the section. Scott Berliner has won one as well. Also on the site, a couple of book reviews. I'll tell you more about those coming up toward the end of our segment here. And we've been tracking, and we'll continue to have a friend of the website, if you will, Dottie Pepper. And we will continue to follow her and her thoughts as she covers a lot of the majors. Of course, she's now trying to stay home a little bit more up in Saratoga Springs. But we're talking about Schuyler Meadows, and let's bring in Bob VanAuken. He is the assistant pro here at Schuyler Meadows. Bob, thanks for taking a couple minutes.
Oh, no problem.
Nice to see you. You've been here for 7th season now here at Schuyler.
That's right.
Is the course, first of all, let's talk about the wintertime. All courses probably took a hit, but maybe this course came out as well as any, huh?
Yeah, I feel we'll be ready by Wednesday. We did take a little hit with some of the grass, but it's coming back. It's starting to warm up, so we should be all set. Should be ready.
Is the club still kind of just having a good time and kind of reveling in what you hosted last summer with the State Am?
Oh yeah, they're still talking about it every day. It was a great opportunity for the club. Got to showcase what we have here, which is something special. Yeah. So they're still raving about it. It
came right down this fairway. As a matter of fact, up on that green, it was Matt Stasiak and Victor Fox, and boy, it was nail biting and exciting. And I can still see one birdie go in and then that putt not go in. Huh? You can probably see it too.
Yeah, I watched the last 5 holes, and that's what we would like to talk about right now is the last 5 holes here that can challenge any golfer.
And that's what the players are going to have. You're going to be facing it too next week on your own course here on May 14th. Those last holes can be a challenge. What's the biggest change? Obviously, it's going to be a little more wet, but what else can the players expect or not expect here from Schuyler?
Well, it's definitely going to be a little soft, so it's going to play a lot different than the amateur did last year. It's going to play a lot longer, I feel, and the temperature, hopefully that goes up, so it's not too brutal. The biggest change will be on number 16. Right. They added a fairway expansion, and they added a greenside bunker. So that's going to make that approach shot a lot more difficult, in my opinion.
For some of the better players, though, that backside bunker, it sort of may not come into play, but you never know. I mean, you can't really guide with it. You can try to guide, but you never really know where that ball's going to go.
Yeah, for the average golfer, I mean, it's already intimidating enough to look at that for your second shot, but to see that bunker might even make you think twice what you're going to do. So hopefully it doesn't come into play, but if it does, maybe it will actually help you so you're not in the fescue behind the green.
This is Bob VanAuken. He's the assistant here at Schuyler Meadows. A guy hails from Johnstown. What would it be like I know you're part of the field. What would it be like to even get to that sectional in the US Open Qualifier? I've talked to so many guys that, there's 4 or 5 that'll advance and so on. What do you think that moment like for you?
It would be great. This is actually my first time trying for the US Open. I've played in some local events. I spend a lot of my time teaching golf, not really playing, but trying to play more this year, so it would be a great opportunity. I would love to get to the next.
And your membership, let's talk about that too, how they've gotten behind some of these bigger events. It's not just the club here that, we want to play our golf and we're going to reserve our course for us. You're opening up a little bit statewide, obviously, and to embrace these events, and then they come out and they can be volunteers or help out or be spectators.
I think that they're just, they want to showcase what we have. They've done a lot of renovations over the last couple of years with the bunker work, and now they're adding more and taking some away. It's great. It's going to look really nice. And
a lot of people that follow CapitalAreaGolf.com and our coverage know David Hayes and his play around the capital area, and he's talked about the ongoing project. It's really taken, I guess it was laid out maybe 10 years ago, and at first the misnomer was you took out all these trees, but then you added all these trees, and you took out some bunkers, and you added some. It's become, you've taken that plan that was laid out by Gil Hans and kind of morphed it into what's shaped here on these hills.
Yeah, it's a lot more visual appealing now. Before, to me, it was just, it was a meadow, and now it's like a link-style golf course, so it's great.
And 15, 16, 17, and 18, if you're in contention, those are the ones, if you're not paying attention, you better be paying attention on those holes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've had problems with myself, so it's a great finish.
Well, get your game in shape, and we'll see you on next Wednesday.
Perfect.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
And we'll continue with more here on CapitalAreaGolf.com.
Capital Area Golf, your guide to this season's next great golf adventure. Check out our golf course specials page for the best deals on courses from the Adirondacks to the Catskills. Now it's time to tee it up at one of our great courses.
Talked about it earlier, but a couple of things on the site that maybe get your game in shape if it isn't already. We have some interviews that you can listen to as you surf around the site, and one is with the renowned golf teacher Dave Stockton. I interviewed him about Own Your Game. It's a brand new book that he has come out with. It's pretty small, actually. It's pretty thin. You can see right there that you can get through it, and it's one of those you can just pick up and kind of put down when you need to kind of watch your game. He's got a lot of good tips, and a lot of them, of course, helping between the ears. Also, I interviewed Gil Capps. He's the author of Magnificent Masters. Recall in the 1975 Masters that Nicklaus won over Tom Weiskopf and Johnny Miller. It's a fantastic read. It's very detailed. It gets with a lot of other things, including color barrier issues and all those things that were going on in the mid-'70s, including Nicklaus's white pants right there on the cover. So, but he is has been a golf producer and a writer for a long time, so you really enjoy both of those books. And those reviews and the audio interviews are on the set. Let's take a look and tell you what's coming up over the next couple of weeks here. Charities are one of the things that we'll be focusing on and keeping here. And there's one coming up on Saturday, and that's at Thunderheart. The United Way is going to hold an event down there in Greene County. Also on May 15th at Fairways at Half Moon, they've got a couple of them, May 15th and 16th. First, the New York State Stock Car Association holds an event. As the wind continues to blow, it's all right. Cohoes and Watervliet Police Union comes up on May 16th. And then Arnie's Army back down in the southern part of our area, Sunny Hill, and that's to help battle prostate cancer. They raise money for that. A couple other events coming up in the not too distant future. Over in Van Skyke Island, they're going to hold a 9-hole championship course. They call it a time for 9. They have 9 holes. And maybe people don't have time to get out and play 18. So you're going to play 9 at Van Skyke, and that's going to be up on May 17th. And this weekend ahead, the NENY PGA Junior Golf Association Championship is going to be held. That's an invitation only. That's at Leatherstocking. Some of the best kids, not only from our section, but around the state, will be playing at Leatherstocking. And before we know it, the junior circuit is going to be starting up right here at the NENY PGA. And ahead, you'll want to watch the site a lot for the First Tee programs that we have coming up in Albany, in Schenectady, in Troy, to get kids involved in the summer months. If you're not sure what your kid wants to do, maybe you can come to a day camp event and check it out at one of the municipal courses, and we're going to have much more events and plus fundraising tournaments coming up for the First Tee. So there's plenty here at CapitalAreaGolf.com, including we'll update these videos from time to time to get you not only kind of acclimated with what is on the site, we'll bring you some insight like we just did with Bob, the assistant here at Schuyler Meadows. A lot of excitement for next week and the US Open Qualifier. 65 guys teeing it up to see if they can move on to the sectionals, and maybe, just maybe, they'll get on to Pinehurst. Hey, thanks for logging on to CapitalAreaGolf.com. I'm John Craig.